Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are live here from Adams Tennis Complex in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, to bring you all of the college women's tennis action here between the Blue Raiders of Middle Tennessee State and the Panthers out of Georgia State. Sarah, we'll start off with Georgia State. They come in 2-0 after dropping their match last night against Lipscomb in a very interesting situation. They don't have a third doubles team. They didn't place a player on the sixth court last night, so we'll be seeing some shortened rosters today as we kick it down to doubles right now. Here on the top court, we will be tuning in to Noel Morrow and Sana Garikani as they are up 15-love. It's Ella Chivu and Pragya Kumar of Georgia State. Garikani on the serve there, but they could not handle that one from the Panthers, and it's tied at 15.
Overhead strike there.
As we said a minute ago, this other match that is happening off to your left is between the Blue Raider pairing of Love Star Alexis and Muskan Gupta, and they are taking on the likes of Michelle Mkube and Maria Paredes of the Panthers. We do not have a third doubles match for you today, as the Georgia State team only has 5 ladies available for today's match, so Lily Sophie Schmidt and Rutuha Chapelkar win that match by default. As we see Garikani fault on that serve there. That will mean that the Blue Raiders only have to win one of these doubles matches to secure that doubles point today.
It's a point there for MTSU, and the ball went into the net with that volley right there. Now MTSU is up 30-15. Or 40-15, my apologies.
No
Just
worries.
need one more point.
Takes them a minute to get those
Yeah.
scoreboards updated.
Just need one more point on this first game here. Looks like that serve is just a little bit long. Ooh, and a great serve there with the return going right into the net. And that is the first game MTSU wins of this doubles match.
As they will take a break, the Lady Raiders will only need to secure victory on one of these two courts. Here's the team switch sides. You see Noel Morrow and Garikani scheming.
MTSU is wearing the bright pink colors today. Is this an awareness for anything, or are they just doing it for fun?
Yes, Coach Teo gave a little speech here a few minutes ago before this match started up. They're doing this in honor of breast cancer awareness.
Excellent shot there.
Sent in beautifully by Garikani there. Cross court will give them a 15-love advantage here in this second game. Quite the rally here.
There's excellent teamwork there for MTSU's team securing that point.
Great communication, and Garikani ends up poking it cross court just out of the reach.
Garikani's only a freshman, so this is pretty impressive for her to be playing so high up and doing so well.
Garikani has flashed a lot of the talent that is earned her this pairing with Blue Raider veteran Noelle Morrow. I think she's performed a lot better in the doubles simply just due to the the presence of Morrow and able to keep those emotions more so in check, whereas she struggled a little bit down the stretch in her singles matches, but definitely excited for her future on this team. As that first serve will fall short.
And MTSU only needs this last point to secure the second game. Excellent network there for MTSU. You see they both came right up to the net and didn't even let it get past there. That's exactly what we want to see. Then that wins them the second game.
Brilliant defense, and this top pairing of Lady Raiders here has broken Georgia State on the top court. Looks like Love Star Alexis and I believe that is Muskan, Love Star Alexis and Muskan Gupta down on the second court are up 1-0 as well, attempting to break Michelle Cube and
I think it actually might be Ruha and Alexis facing Paredes and Akubi?
correct you are, and as it appears here, they have just wrapped up that second game. Let's wait for the scoring here in a moment.
It was a beautiful serve, but that volley did go a little bit long and out.
Just a little too much sauce on the backhand there from Noelle Morrow. So her and Garicani regroup. Long way to trek there from Morrow. Couldn't quite put it in.
It was a good hustle, but it was a little bit of miscommunication there.
That's the thing we were touching on just a minute ago. Garicani is definitely talented, but definitely young, and communication is key in these doubles matches.
This is match point, or game point.
Great defense from Garicani, and Kumar could not return it over the net.
Now we are 15-40.
Blue Raiders
MTSU.
attempting to win, stay alive to potentially win in straight sets here on the top court. There's a little update. Love Star Alexis and Ratuha Chapelkar ended up dropping that second game, so that is tied 1-1.
Beautiful overhead there. Garicani. Seems like they finally got back into their swing, and they are now at 30. MTSU is 30-40. Might just go into a extra point here. There we are again. Seems like something that Garicani's pretty good at, that overhead. Just slams on the court and they can't get it before it goes out.
Certainly that power comes to her advantage on the serve as long as she can control it. And she's been able to thus far. do situation to decide the game here for the Lady Raiders. Served by Noelle Morrow.
That was a let there. Ooh, that was a great hit by the Panthers. They kind of gave Garicani a piece of her own medicine with that overhead.
Yeah, Sarah, I believe they call that one a shoe shiner.
Yeah. Well, that is the game for the Panthers on that one, so.
Yeah, tough shot to handle there for Garicani as we've been tuned in to court 1 here for most of the beginning of this match. We will take a look at court 2 over here with where your Blue Raiders Love Star Alexis and Ratuha Chapelcar are locked in a battle with Michelle Cube and Maria Paredes.
It's MTSU serving. Looks like it was just a little long there.
Good idea. Just looking for the execution there from Chapelcar on the serve.
And there she did it.
And that will certainly work.
A second serve, that return went straight into the net. Looking like a similar game to the one we just watched.
Very much. Comeback from the Blue Raiders.
MTSU 30-40.
Missed a little bit of the action from that last point. Your teams will switch sides here. Looks like
the Panthers took that one with that last point.
Yes, Georgia State wrapped that one up, and they will take a 2-1 advantage here in this first double set this afternoon. Coach Latrone Mason counseling his second team in his first full season as the Panthers head coach. Joined the staff about this time last year and was promoted to the head coaching position last summer. Has definitely been an instrumental part of turning this Panthers team around as they are looking to do here today against MTSU. Georgia State on serve and up 2-1.
Right idea there with that volley, but execution was a little bit off as it went right into the net. Another long volley there by MTSU.
Like we said, crucial for the Blue Raiders to win at least one of these courts. The third one they have won by default because Georgia State is only fielding 5 of 6 players today. But this Blue Raider pairing here on court 2 struggling at the moment. You can slightly see off to your right, Noelle Morrow and Sana Garicani are leading 2-1 in their first set.
Ooh. Love Star Alexis with those volleys. They're not looking very good today, not working well in her favor.
She might be wishing she had another opportunity at that one.
Right.
It just looked
I
like
think
it
that's
fell wide off the end of the racket there.
I think that's 3 volleys in a row, actually, that MTSU has lost a point from. So looks like they're talking over strategy and figuring out how to regroup. So now MTSU is 1, 2, 3.
And as you can hear that cheer erupt in the background, the Blue Raider faithful are cheering for the pairing over on court 1 of Sana Garicani and Noelle Morrow, who just took a 3-1 advantage in their game. It's the lady pairing of Michelle Cube and Maria Paredes try to hold on to their 3-1 lead. Love Star Alexis will serve for the Blue Raiders. And sent wide by Chapelcar, a bit ambitious, and these two appear to be very nervous here early.
They don't seem to be in sync, do they?
Definitely.
A little bit of some sloppy work, especially at the net for MTSU, and Georgia State is definitely shining brighter in this game here. But it is still early on in the match, so. They might just need to warm up a little bit more.
It's definitely still early in the season, trying to find that chemistry
Right.
with your partner. I mean, you can speak to that more. Were you more of a favoring singles or doubles kind of player?
I was definitely more of a singles, but doubles is it's tricky. You know, especially if you're used to playing singles, communicating with someone, having someone else on that court, not really knowing what they're going to do or how they're going to play. It takes a lot of practice and a lot of work to really get in sync with each other and understand when they're going to go here, or they're going to do well in this area, or they're going to fall short in this area. So
Paredes having her words with the ITA official here. Wonder what she is confused about.
I think maybe she's debating a call on a shot.
You never know. Love Star Alexis and Ratuha Chapelcar will regroup and
hopefully they can take
set up the
this
serve.
game here. Oh. Well, that was probably an important point, but it looks like MTSU took that game on that last point. So hopefully that means they are catching up. Yep. Now MTSU is 2-3 to Georgia State.
As you can see, Coach Teo strolls over from watching her top pairing over on court 1 off to the right of your screen. The score there is still 3-1 in favor of Noelle Morrow and Sana Garicani. Big hold there from the Blue Raiders. Georgia State will look to do the same. what a shot from
Yeah.
Chapel Car wrapped around
Oh,
the
wow.
head of Love Star Alexis there. And that was
That
quite
was
the
an
rally.
aggressive shot right there. Some wonderful baseline work. All of those shots went straight to the baseline, but she was able to handle those well. But a lot of shots really close to everyone's face, but hopefully everyone's okay on the other side.
Quite the rally. Yes, I would certainly be crying for them to watch out for my face.
Yep.
That is the moneymaker.
So,
Strange
whew.
touch there from Paredes, and
Wow.
Love Star Alexis sends it right back from where it came, and
Yeah.
it looks like they're going to give that point to Georgia State.
Really?
I think that official saying that ball might have gone a bit long there.
Huh.
We'll see here. Nope, never mind.
Yeah.
They will credit it to the Blue Raiders. Break here to even this score would be huge.
Oh. Spoke too soon.
That announcer's jinx is certainly real, folks, as Chapel Car golfs one over onto the adjacent court.
We are now at 30 all.
Meanwhile, Ava Chivu and Pragnya Kumar have secured their second game over on court one, making that 3-2 in favor of the Blue Raiders.
I believe that was a double fault from Georgia State on that serve there. So giving MTSU the lead on this game at 40-30. Oh.
Chapel Car knows she could have done a lot more with that as she
Yeah, that serve was a little tricky. It did look like it was probably going to go out, but then hit just right there on that line. And failed to hit that return with that forehand there. And now we are tied at 40-40 at a deuce. Oh.
sent right down Main Street,
Yeah.
and Georgia State has fought back from a 3-1 deficit to make it 3 games apiece here in the first set. Excuse me,
That was
4-2.
games, yep.
I was looking at the wrong team there, folks. Georgia State pairing of Michelle Cube and Maria Paredes will take a 4-2 lead over Love Star Alexis and Rutuha Chapel Car. Rutuha is one of the younger players on this MT women's team. Also being paired with one of the older veterans in Love Star Alexis.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got a lot of freshman senior pairings. I mean, today on both courts, freshman and senior doubles partners. Ooh. Excellent network there from MTSU.
And a bounce will fall the way of the Lady Raiders as that ball just jumped along the top of the net.
Yeah.
And fell back onto Georgia State's own side.
Well, guys, it's great to see everyone back here again for women's tennis.
Well, if you're just now tuning in, we're watching Love Star Alexis and Ratuja Chapelcar attempting to come back against Michelle Cube and Maria Paredes of Georgia State. And now we are going to send it down courtside to our reporter, Dylan Simmons. Mr. Simmons, what have you got for us?
Well, guys, it's getting charged up in here like an electric Volkswagen right now. Great atmosphere that we've seen thus far. And as for Georgia State, you know, we've already talked about how they're dealing with a few injuries coming in here, and they've had to deal with certain absences recently. Their number 2 player, Ellie Aldrich, currently not in the lineup, hasn't played since January the 20th. Part of the reason why you're seeing this current situation that Georgia State finds themselves in, something to keep an eye on, especially to see how it affects the Panthers moving forward. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Dylan. Well, that certainly does answer a lot of questions for us, Sarah.
Definitely.
Ellie Aldrich, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is a junior or senior. Definitely one of the more veteran presences.
She's a junior, yeah.
On this Panther roster. Definitely very big to decide to just not play with that last court, because obviously, as we're seeing here in singles, MTSU only has to win one of these games to secure that doubles point.
Right.
And less opportunities for your team to win later on in the afternoon. So we will see how this progresses.
Ooh. Another great volley there. Looks like they're finally getting into their swing of things from the net. But that was a great volley from Love Star Alexis that I think actually hit Georgia State's opposing team in the legs.
Yeah, it looks like
That's a few times that they've actually
that
made
appears
contact.
to be the strategy today,
I guess
believe.
so. They're intimidating them with the threat of getting hit by the ball. Oh. Well, that volley was out by Love Star, but it was the right idea to stay at the net there.
The Blue Raiders can hold here. Your score will go to 4-3.
This is the last point for the game. And there we go.
Indeed they will, as well, as you just saw there, Love Star Alexis and Ratuja Chapelcar battling back, now trailing 3-4 on court 2. What have you seen in that match, Sarah?
It was pretty back and forth a little bit. You know, we had some really great network and then some really not so great network by MTSU. I think the Panthers are holding their own pretty well. They seem to be communicating. They're playing some great shots at the baseline. And it's just kind of it's back and forth with MTSU. The serves are usually going out on the first serve, usually making it in on the second one, which is not always what you want to see, but it seems to be working out a little bit. Now we're back by only 1 game down, MTSU, so there's definitely could be a comeback.
Yeah, certainly a lot of trial and error here early as these opponents are feeling each other out, as we send it back down to court 1, where your top Raider pairing of Sana Garicani and Noelle Morrow hold a 4-3 advantage in this first set.
Another close match. Yeah.
Kumar serves for Georgia State, looking to force a deuce situation here, and that one is a bit long, giving Morrow and Garicani their 5th game.
Exactly.
Your score will be 5-3 here on court 1, with the Blue Raiders only needing 1 more game to secure the doubles point for the afternoon. Chivu and Kumar dig their heels in on the near side.
I think that serve was a little bit out. Although, actually, I'm not sure. She looks like she called that serve out, but I don't know if they agree.
It was certainly very close.
Oh, and I think it was declared that it was in. Yeah, I was right there on that line.
Somehow managed to stay out of that doubles alley and will fall in favor of the Blue Raiders. Garakani's first attempt goes a bit long.
See, Garakani's serves are so fast, it really is difficult to see where they're falling on that line. Oh, and that was an excellent cross-court volley there by Noel Morrow, securing that second point.
Another sight here on this court that you mentioned just a moment ago is those first serves falling short as Garakani cost the Raiders a double fault there.
Yeah, that's always a disappointment to see a double fault.
Can't afford to give up points like that, especially in college tennis where you don't have that advantage situation after the deuce point. So
another first serve into the net. And looks like that one was long as well, so that's 2 double faults in a row.
On the bright side, Garakani has scored all the points here in this game. The downside to that is that half of them have gone for Georgia State.
Right. Just with such talented players, it is a disappointment to see those points lost on a double fault with no rallying in between. But something Georgia State is probably very happy about. It's always the best points to win when you don't have to play. Okay. Oh, there we go. Great serve there by Garakani, and a equally great volley by Noel Morrow. Now we are looking at a score of MTSU at 40-30. Just one more point needed to secure this game. Hopefully we won't see a double fault.
That would be very costly here for the Blue Raiders. Good defense from Morrow.
There we go. She anticipated that shot and had it going, and there we go. We got the win. MTSU 6-3. And if you look over on the left side of your screen, you can also see left star Alexis. And her opponents shaking hands as they finish their match as well.
Well, we just wrapped up doubles action here, and MTSU will take the victory after winning court 3 by default and taking court 1 by a score of 6-3. Sarah, what did you see from that doubles round, and what do you see from some of these players that we're looking forward to going into singles action?
I mean, it's a really fun match to watch, I think, on both sides. It was really cool seeing the freshman senior pairing on both courts. I think that they started off maybe a little bit weaker, and then as they warmed up and got into the game, they really found where they met. I think Noel Morrow was great at the net there, especially in those last few points in the last games, getting those volley points. And the serve was a little bit off for Garakani, but she was able to secure the win, so I guess that's all that matters.
Absolutely. Well, your Blue Raiders will take a 1-0 lead into singles play this afternoon. We're going to head to break, but you've been watching Blue Raider tennis on CUSA TV and MTN Sports.
Stick around.
Mental health affects us all, whether you finish first or last.
Whether you win or lose.
The stigma around these issues causes those around us to suffer in silence.
Mental health is nothing to be ashamed of.
You are not alone.
You are not alone. As a student athlete,
As a teammate,
As a friend,
we pledge to continue the conversation.
because it matters.
because you matter.
stand up to the stigma.
Stand up.
Stand up.
Continue the conversation.
You are not alone.
I have a voice.
You have a voice.
We have a voice.
Our voices can be heard
Outside of sports.
As student athletes, we have a platform.
Now more than ever.
It's important that we listen, learn, and lead, and raise our voices for change.
We can all do more.
Now is the time
To make a difference.
This is our chance.
This is our chance to make a better tomorrow.
Together,
we will continue the conversation.
we have a voice.
On June 23, 1972, Title IX was signed into law, and it reads, "No person in the United States shall, on the basis of sex, be excluded from participation in, be denied the benefits of, or be subjected to discrimination under any education program or activity, receiving federal financial assistance." Happy 50th anniversary, Title IX. Thank you for giving little girls like me and big kids like Conference USA student athletes the opportunity to dream big.
Mental health affects us all, whether you finish first or last.
Whether you win or lose.
The stigma around these issues causes those around us to suffer in silence.
Mental health is nothing to be ashamed of.
You are not alone.
You are not alone. As a student athlete,
As a teammate,
As a friend,
We pledge to continue the conversation.
because it matters.
because you matter.
stand up to the stigma.
Stand up.
Stand up.
Continue the conversation.
You are not alone.
Good afternoon. If you're just joining us, I'm your host, Grant Langston, alongside our analyst for this afternoon, Sarah Ottman, as we are about to bring you all of the singles action from this women's match between Middle Tennessee State and Georgia State. Your Blue Raiders took the doubles point after only having to win one of the two matches they participated in, given that the number 2 player for the Georgia State Panthers, Ellie Aldrich, is not available due to a lower leg injury today, giving the Blue Raiders a 1-0 victory after they were able to secure that Court 1 win
6-3
early
I
in the
believe.
doubles match. Yeah, exactly. So as we will send you down to Court 1 here, Love Star Alexis is taking on Ava Chivu of the Georgia State Panthers. Looks like Alexis was able to hold in her first set as we got started here a few minutes ago. Yes, thank you. Her first game in the first set, excuse me.
It'd be pretty impressive if she won the whole set within the first.
Yeah, in the 5 minutes.
Right.
Would not be opposed, but
no, I mean,
quite a volley we have going here, and that
there
one
we
will
go.
fall short from Chivu.
Yeah, it was a beautiful rally between the two women on this court.
This Georgia State team returning 5 of 6 starters from last season. Chivu being the leader here on the top court, as she can't get that one to fall either. And
it's an excellent hustle there from Love Star Alexis. Barely getting to that ball and then managing to make it all the way to the other court and win the point with that shot. Only one more point needed to secure this second game for MTSU. Wow. Gorgeous down the line backhand from Alexis. And Chivu didn't even attempt to go for that one.
Did not put up much of a fight.
Yeah. Surrendered and put up her hands in defeat on that game there. And now it will be Alexis' serve. Hopefully with a little bit of confidence after winning 2 games. And that's exactly what it was, a beautiful serve and a strong return cross court down into that back corner there.
Yeah, Chivu honored with the 2022 all Sun Belt singles first team for Georgia State, so quite the showing that she put on last year, but she struggled early in this season. Looking to turn around her fortunes here today. As Alexis is set to serve.
Looks like that one fell just a little bit short on Chivu's side, not making it over the net. It's a powerful return by Chivu there.
Looked like she got that ball with a lot of the bottom half of her racket. A lot of top spin, just fell short into the net there.
Wow, both an excellent serve and an equally excellent return. I don't think Alexis was anticipating that strong of a return over there by Chivu.
Clearly not. Chivu has leveled the score at 30 apiece here. Court 1.
like that serve was a little bit long.
Her second attempt won't be. But that return will fall out of bounds.
Just in the doubles alley. She was doing a really good job of running Alexis down this court, side to side, with these back-to-back cross-court shots. It's probably wearing her out just a little bit. Now she is down 30 to 40.
Absolutely. That's definitely another factor that we haven't really touched on today, Sarah, is the fitness of this Georgia State team. They're obviously, you know, down a lady here today, and on top of that, they had a match last night up in Nashville against Lipscomb that they lost 2-5. So they are reeling and looking for anything to turn around this rough start to their season. As we hit a break here in court number 1, I'd like to give you some court assignments from around the yard, so to speak. On court number 1, as we've been watching, you have Love Star Alexis facing off against Eva Chivu. On court 2, we have the freshman Sana Garakani taking on Michelle Cube. Court 3 will feature Muskan Gupta against Maria Paredes. Your Blue Raider on court 4, Lily Sophie Schmidt, is the only Blue Raider undefeated left this year. She is 3-0, looking to continue that hot streak today. She'll be taking on Pragnya Kumar, while Noelle Morrow is taking on Alexia Alvarez on court 5. Court 6, we will not have a match today. If you're just now joining us, Ellie Aldrich, the number 2 for Georgia State, is out and has been out since late January with a lower leg injury, thus giving the Blue Raiders some points by default here this afternoon.
We are currently taking a look at court 2. We've got Sana Garakani versus Michelle Niku. Looks like they are tied 1-1, and MTSU is up 30 in this game here.
I'll tell you, Sarah, something I'm interested to see here today with Sana is how she keeps her composure down the stretch of this match. She's facing a grad student here in Michelle Cube, and last time out against Austin Peay, she fell short against another opponent, veteran opponent, in Jana Leader. Just to see how she can keep her emotions in check as if things don't go her way, like as we see there.
Yeah, she's definitely got the skill, but it does take. There's a big difference between being a freshman and a grad student in composure and how you handle yourself in high energy and high pressure environments, like college games, because it is a lot of pressure.
Absolutely. Is Garakani looking to break Michelle Cube here? Garakani frustrated, but couldn't quite get the spin on that one to keep it in that she wanted. Well played by Michelle Cube there to.
Yeah, those were some excellent shots by Georgia State with that spin on the ball. You could literally see it move when it got to the other side, just to the side there with a slice in her backhand.
Not to mention it, Michelle Cube is a lefty as Garakani puts some heat on that one across the court.
That was an impressive final point there.
And takes her second game, giving her a 2-1 advantage. As I started to say there, it's different with Michelle Cube being a lefty there. With the ball,
Yeah.
it definitely comes in at a different angle.
I feel like left-handed players usually have a little bit more spin on their ball, and it's not always something that right-handed players, if you're used to playing right-handed players, are usually able to anticipate, just because it is different. The play.
It looks different, yeah. It's definitely not what you're used to. I'm sure most of the machines that you practice with as well are more tuned to be right-handed players.
Right.
As we tune in here, back with court number 1, Love Star Alexis on serve here.
Go, seniors! Go, Raiders!
Serve looked a little bit long there. And that was long for Georgia State, giving Love Star that point.
Go, Noel! Come on, Mushan!
It's evident with this, what we've seen here today, that serves are definitely something that this Blue Raider squad could work on across the board. As that one just sniffs the line for Ava Chivu.
Well, yeah. Yeah, serving is the most important play in the entire game. I mean, it starts every point, so if your serve isn't where it needs to be, it really controls how everything else will go. Ooh, I don't think Alexis was anticipating that slice would make it over.
Chivu did not have to do much, as she just
barely tapped
placed
that one
her
over.
racket out there, and it popped over the net.
And that one looked a little.
All right. And as you just saw, the last point being taken by Ava Chivu, we'll see Love Star Alexis serve. All right, Love Star Alexis will take that one with a 40-15 advantage, and we're going to send you courtside to our reporter, Dylan Simmons. Dylan, what have you got for us?
Well, guys, on court 4, Lily Sophie Schmidt, she's hitting more strikes than Pete Weber right now.
Oh, I just can't hear him.
All right, guys, well, over on court 4 right now, Lily Sophie Schmidt, she's hitting more strikes than Pete Weber at the moment, having a great time against her opponent, Kumar, up with a 3-0 lead right now, looking to maintain that as the first set continues forward. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Dylan. Well, it sounds like Lily Sophie Schmidt is making quick work of her opponent here in this first set, contrary to her performance last time out, causing the entire match to last almost a total of 4 hours.
Yeah, I saw those results. But she did secure the win with that. So, she got the point, did she not?
She did indeed. As
So.
we mentioned earlier, Lily Sophie Schmidt, your only undefeated Blue Raider, sitting at 3-0.
Yeah, these single matches can be a bit brutal when they go into that third set.
Especially when you've already been into a tiebreaker set in your first first set.
The ability to keep your stamina up and your energy is something that is quite impressive that you see a lot within these college matches that these women are able to do.
Yeah, I spoke with Coach Teo briefly about that after the last match out against Austin Peay, and she said it was never something that crossed their minds during the middle of a match, but I find that hard to believe when you get deep in the weeds against somebody.
Yeah. I will say the adrenaline does kind of keep you going when you're in gameplay. That serve looked a little long.
Just checking in on some scores of some other matches going on around Adams Tennis Complex this afternoon. Muskan Gupta and Maria Paredes off to your right. That is the match on court 3. As Muskan Gupta leads Paredes 2-1. And off to your left is Noelle Morrow taking on Alexia Alvarez, and she also looks to continue her success on this young season, winning her last time out. She takes a 2-1 lead at the moment. We'll see the second serve here from Chivu as that one doesn't make it over the net.
Not sure if Love Star Alexa's shot was out or not, or how that point ended just then.
That would appear to be the case if it wasn't returned.
Yeah. Must have gone into the doubles alley a little bit there. Nonetheless, this is the game point. Oh, and the Love Star calls that shot out. Just barely out there.
That did appear to be the case. And she will stave off losing this game for a little bit more.
And that shot is out by Love Star. So that is game there. Tying the two. 3-3, I believe.
Locked into a very evenly matched battle here on court 1 as Love Star Alexis faces off against fifth-year senior Ava Chivu.
Chiva continues to run Love Star Alexis across that court. Especially getting right there in the baseline, cross court into that corner, right next to the doubles alley. Powerful serve there from Alexis.
You know, sometimes you'll see the ball being sent back, you know, on a very similar trajectory from where it came, and then sometimes you see them trying to lead their opponent into the corner. What are you kind of looking for to, you know, to know when to take those shots?
I mean, I think Chivu's showing an excellent example of what you should be doing in this case. I mean, every opportunity you get to give a shot that maybe not anticipated by your opponent is what you should do. A lot of that cross-court action is really where it's at, and when they're on one side hitting it down the line. But you just got to be on your toes and see which way your opponent is looking to run in the direction of, and in a split second deciding to hit it in the opposite direction. Like in that moment for Alexis Lovestar when she hit that shot cross-court beautifully while her opponent was down the line.
Beautiful backhand. Yeah, no shot for Chivu to get back to that one.
And a beautiful serve there. Second serve.
Lovestar Alexis looking to put away this game and take a 4-3 advantage in this first set. Don't want to wish anything upon these two, but it does seem that if they continue to play this evenly, we might be set to go the distance.
Yep, that's what I was thinking of too. But Lovestar Alexis does take that game right there, making it 4-3 MTSU. Yeah, it's very evenly matched. It might be a long one there.
Well, and hopefully good for the Blue Raiders that they don't have to rely on that court today because of their 2-0 advantage already in this match. As you know, they won the doubles point earlier, being given one of those just due to a withdrawal on behalf of Georgia State. But obviously, and then obviously the singles on court 6 is the other one. It's just 2 points the Blue Raiders haven't had to earn at all today. As we look over to the action on court 4, but before we do that, we're going to send it down courtside to our reporter Dylan Simmons. Dylan, what you got?
Yes, sir. So on courts 2 and 3, we've got tight action right now. It's 3-3 and 2-2 respectively for Sana and Muskan, but we'll get more as this game progresses forward. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Dylan. All right, as we hear about the action on courts 2 and 3, we will tune in to court 4 here where Lily Sophie Schmidt gives us a big fist bump as she looks to have just gone up 4 games to 1 here early in a dominant performance so far over Kumar of Georgia State. As you can see there, Schmidt 3 for 3 on her break point opportunities. And as we've mentioned a few times this afternoon, you were looking at your lone undefeated Blue Raider.
Yep, 3 wins against Liberty, Austin P, and FGCU.
Kumar and Schmidt both get a sip of water and get to regroup as we get ready for Schmidt to serve here.
It's just a little bit long there. And that backhand just fell a little bit short by Kumar. Not quite making it over the net, securing Schmidt at that point.
Kumar's doubles partner, Ava Chivu, faring a lot better than her at the moment. Interesting to see her down here on court 4 after being on the top court there in doubles.
Yeah.
This game seems to be going at a bit of a slower pace than some of the other ones we've tuned into today, but Lily Sophie Schmidt taking care of business so far.
Yeah.
She'll do it again. Kumar is
A lot of shots going into the net for Kumar.
very visibly frustrated with herself.
Right.
For that one. Schmidt, I believe, will have a 40-love advantage.
Yep.
Looking to put away her 5th game.
Yep,
Well
good
on her
point,
way to wrapping up that first set.
Out there.
Long from Kumar. And Lily Sophie Schmidt has stormed out
Takes
to a
another
5-1
game.
lead.
That's exactly what MTSU was hoping for probably on this court here. And this might be the last game of this set here. If MTSU.
Very well might be if Schmidt can continue run of form. Kumar clearly needing a break. She's just in her own head right now.
Yeah, you can see the frustration visibly. But didn't show in that serve there because that was an excellent serve for Kumar.
Great ball, just too far out of the reach for Schmidt to be able to do anything with it. I'll tell you, I've been watching a little bit of the Australian Open here the last few weeks, and some of the craziest shots are when some of these pros can contort their wrists to, you know, flick a ball like that. But you don't see it often. It is not easily done.
Definitely not.
As Kumar sends one short into the net once again in her first attempt.
That one was long.
Dug that one out of the dirt and couldn't get it to fall in bounds.
Might be a comeback here in this game. 30-love Kumar. There we go. Now we're right up there at 40-love.
Some pace on that backhand there from Kumar. And not a chance for the German.
Oh, an excellent cross-court shot there by Schmidt.
Brilliant, and she stays alive.
She's not letting her take the game yet. We'll see if she can catch up to where Kumar is right there at 40 points. And now we are at 30, MTSU 30-40. Schmidt might just be catching back up here.
Serve sent in by Kumar there. Well played volley here. And sent wide as Lily Sophie Schmidt has battled back from a 40-to-love hole to force a deuce situation. As we get a little break in the action here before our deciding point, we will send it court side to our reporter Dylan Simmons. Dylan, what have you got for us?
Well, guys, you might remember Noelle Morrow over last game from an Austin P when she had a dominant win in 2 sets. Well, she's continuing that in court 5 today. A 5-3 lead currently, looking to keep that going, looking to get MTSU a set point here, but we'll see how that goes. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Dylan. Noelle Morrow certainly did have an inspiring performance last time out as she was able to win in straight sets 6-2, 6-0, and get to the showers early.
I think that might have been a double fault right there by Kumar, giving that last point to Schmidt and therefore winning that first set.
It's kind of a deflating way to end the first set there, and an unfortunate reality of college tennis, but Lily Sophie Schmidt will take the first set here on court number 4 by a score of 6-1. You saw their little slower pace match, Sarah, but Lily Sophie Schmidt getting it done in her first set against Pragnya Kumar.
Yeah, some really impressive playing by Schmidt there on that court. She's doing really well, and you can see it right in the putting in the scores right there, winning that first set 6-1.
All right, yes, and as you just heard a moment ago, Noelle Morrow doing her best to continue her hot streak over on court 5 as we tune into the match on court 2 between Sana Garicani and Michelle Cube. Garicani holding on to a 5-3 advantage at the moment. Also looking to put away her first set of the afternoon.
And she's already up in this last one, 30-15. Looks like she only needs 2 more points to win this first set. And there's one of those points. Easily attained by that shot being hit into the net by Michelle Naku.
Long
And
there
that
from
one's
Michelle Q, but
out.
Sana
can-
Garicani lets out a
Yeah, you can
spirited
hear the
yelp.
victory from that last point, but as she should, I think that means that she has won her first set, which is looking good for the Lady Raiders. Their 2 first sets won.
And as Sana Garicani has just wrapped up her first set, we have another report from Mr. Dylan Simmons. What have you got for us, Dylan?
Well, guys, you mentioned players winning their first sets. Noelle, we talked about her just a few minutes ago. Well, she has done it, clinching the set in dominant fashion. A 6-3 victory, looking to take the second set and get the Blue Raiders a point. Back to you guys.
That's wonderful to hear. So we got 3 sets already down for the Blue Raiders.
3 sets in the books for the Blue Raiders means they are well on their way to taking this match. As you know, the score is already 2-0. We took court 6 by default, court 3 in the doubles match also won by default here today. So if any of these ladies can get up in their second ones early, we could be for a very quick match here this afternoon.
Could be. We might be home a lot sooner than we thought.
All right, and as we wrap up there on court 2, we will take you back to court number 1, where Love Star Alexis is up 5-4 in a deuce situation against Ava Chivu here.
A little bit closer set than we've been watching.
Definitely been back and forth, but Alexis attempting.
So close to getting that point, but
just got back
a little
to it.
too much power there. But her hustle, she always is able to hustle to the ball. It's just if her shot after she hustles makes it over is what we've been seeing a lot with Love Star Alexis.
No doubt a few of those she's just not quite able to get there in time to get that racket exactly where she wants it.
Doesn't have enough time to get set before her shot, so she's just kind of hitting whatever she can in any direction, which usually leads to the ball going long or wide. And was that one out, or?
Looks like it was a bit long there from Love Star Alexis. She had a lot of real estate to play with and couldn't get it to fall.
Yep.
And the score here on court 1 will be 5-5.
A little bit long there.
Fault on the first attempt from Love Star Alexis.
And that backhand just goes a little bit wide as well. You can see Love Star Alexis is getting a little bit frustrated now.
It's a shot that she's normally used to making.
Right. It really is important that she wins this first set, because being down a set means you got to keep playing for a long time, and your chances of winning the match are severely lowered.
No doubt, Sarah, but as we talked about, a bunch of the other Lady Raiders on the court this afternoon have jumped out to take their first set, and might be beneficial to not have to rely on this top court today.
This is true.
Won well by Alexis there, as Chivu is not able to return the serve.
Tying them at 30 all.
Meanwhile, of those matches that have entered their second set, Noelle Morrow taking on Alexia Alvarez they just started. They have not decided any games as of yet. Looks like Sana Garicani is up 1-0 on Michelle Cube on court 2, and over on court 4, Lily Sophie Schmidt will trail Pragnya Kumar 1-0 as well.
And this is the deciding point here on this court. And it goes out, giving that game to Alexis.
As Alexis.
Now, I'm not positive, does Alexis have to win by 2 in order to take the set, or does she take it with 6-5? I guess we'll see if they play another game or not, but I think they may have to play one more game.
I believe they play another game, and then it will go to a tiebreaker if they do not. That's interesting because our scoreboard here at Adams Tennis Complex is showing 6 games apiece there, giving it to Chivu. So we will keep you up to date as we get that scoring figured out.
Yeah, is that correct? Yeah, it's saying that they're going into a tiebreak, but I think we're just having some technical difficulties.
Meanwhile, as they get that straightened out, as you can see on that court off to your right, Muskan Gupta is trailing 5-4. And as she is your lone Blue Raider who has not yet to win a match this year, she is certainly looking to turn around her season as well. Appears to be a little break in the action off to your left as well, but that is court 5, where Noelle Morrow has taken a 1-set lead over Alexia Alvarez and leads 1-0 in the second set.
Saw that point coming with that perfect setup for an overhead. Chivu was able to.
Yeah, tough shot to make it work for Alexis there. Thought she might be able to drop it in behind Chivu when she ran up to play that ball in the front of the court, but just not enough on it, and it's easy money for Chivu.
Yeah, that point looked like it went out. And another shot goes out for Chivu.
Seen a lot of those today from both sides, just not quite getting a hold of that ball with exactly the part of the racket that you want, and has ended up in some errant shots. If you're just now joining us, the Middle Tennessee State Blue Raiders have a 2-0 advantage over the Georgia State Panthers. As we are looking on at court number 1 here with Love Star Alexis for the Blue Raiders at the top of your screen, and Ava Chivu for the Panthers down at the bottom.
Excellent forehand there from Chivu.
Just out of the reach of Alexis. .30-30. These two women draw even. If Love Star Alexis can take this game, she will win her first set, but Ava Chivu can force a tiebreak if she's able to
get this game here.
Secure this game here as you see Coach Latrone Mason jog by.
And that shot goes out from Alexis, bringing the score to 30-40. Chivu only needing one more point to take this to a tiebreak.
Sent a little long there by Chivu. Which will bring up another deuce situation, 40-40.
And into the net it goes.
Chivu's
really frustrated there.
absolutely spiking her second ball.
Yeah, rightfully so. I mean, that first set now goes to Alexis. 7-5 in that first set.
Well earned is definitely would be an understatement, as Alexis fought hard there against Ava Chivu.
That was a close set there.
Yeah, definitely going to be waning heavy on the mind of Chivu the rest of the afternoon after she was able to get out to a lead there early.
Right. Yeah, close not only in the games, but in the points inside of the games as well. I mean, we're equaling out almost every other game. They were going back and forth and then tying and going to deuce in a lot of those games as well.
Absolutely. All right, and after we wrapped up that action there on court one, we are going to send you down to our reporter, Dylan Simmons. What have you got for us, Dylan?
Yes, sir. On court three, it was a match that had hearts racing like it was NASCAR. Muskan Gupta against Maria Paredes, a really back and forth clash, but at the end of the day, it's going to be Paredes who took the victory by a score of 6-4. So it's going to be interesting to see if Georgia State can keep up this momentum moving forward, but they've got some momentum over on court three. Guys, back to you.
Absolutely, Dylan. Well, court three, as we mentioned earlier, Muskan Gupta battling to win her first match of the year. That will certainly, we will tune into that shortly, but right now we're going to take a look at Noelle Morrow, who is on a hot run of her own, taking on Alexia Alvarez on court five. Alvarez looking to hold her serve here.
And into the net from Alvarez, giving Morrow that point. Now they should be tied at deuce. And we will see with this last point who takes this second game.
Alexia Alvarez, one of the other seniors on this Georgia State Panthers roster this spring. Bringing back a lot of starting talent, but as we mentioned earlier, head coach Latrone Mason in his first season, this squad is definitely looking to establish somewhat of a winning culture that they have not had in the past.
Right. And MTSU takes that second game as Morrow wins the deuce point.
Big comeback there from Morrow, and she will take a 2 games 2-0 lead in this second set as we watch her line up her serve here. A little bit too much there from Alvarez.
I think she might be in her head a little bit now. Definitely frustrated losing that last game and also down a set.
No doubt. Noelle Morrow is absolutely rolling.
That one looks a little bit out as well.
That one will fall long.
And another long shot by Alvarez. This is definitely a pattern we're seeing in this game. Hitting all of her returns pretty far along. And this is the game point here. And an ace there by Noelle Morrow, right down that line.
Right down Main Street. As some might say, and Noelle Morrow takes a 3-0 advantage right here in the second set on court 5.
And an easy one to win as well with no points on the opposing side.
Straight points for Morrow as they will catch their breath and reset over here on court 5. All right, and as we have a break in the action there on court 5, we are going to send you back down to court number 2, where freshman Sana Garicani takes on Michelle Cube.
Garicani is also coming off of a set win, 6-3, but she's falling a little bit short within her second set at 1-2-3.
That's exactly when we wanted to start getting a look at Garicani, because this is about the time last weekend where things started to unravel. And as she is down 3-1 here, we'll see certainly how she handles it.
Oof, that was an excellent shot there by Cube. But a wonderful rally between both women.
Well placed there, certainly.
Now we go to break point.
Going up, if Cube is able to break Garicani here, a 4-1 deficit is not easily overcome.
Right. And it's out.
I thought that shot before by Garicani looked a bit long, but it
so as well.
Doesn't matter because the next one will fall out of bounds.
Yep.
Michelle Cube will take a 4-1 lead.
It's not something that you want to see is 4-1.
Here in the second set. If you're just joining us, there is no action on the court 6 to your off to the right of your screen this afternoon because Georgia State electing to only play 5 ladies this afternoon due to some injury concerns on their roster. And off to your left is Lily Sophie Schmidt taking on Pragnya Kumar. Schmidt was able to take the first set 6-1 in a quite decisive victory, although she trails 3-2 at the moment here in this second set. You are currently watching Court 2, match between Sana Garikani and Michelle Cube as they look to get started again.
And it's out there.
Tell you, this is where it started. Sana's very obviously emotional, but it started with the shots. It was some of the shots that she's very capable of hitting, not falling her way, whether it was just a bad bounce, bad call, and let's see how she responds as she's starting to kind of grip her head in her hands there and talk to herself more and more. It's exactly what we were talking about. Down 30 love, on the verge of going down 5-1 here in the second set. And that one looks long for Michelle Cube.
That serve is out as well. Ooh, nice backhand there from Garikani, just barely above the net and right cross court.
Beautiful shot from Sana.
And that ties them at 30 all.
She could break Cube back here. That would be crucial to her comeback here this afternoon. All right, and as we get to another little break in the action here, Dylan Simmons has got a report for us. Dylan, what have you got?
Well, guys, in set 2, Lily Sophie Schmidt is trying to be the Tom Brady to the Atlanta Falcons right now, as she's up 3-2 after a 2-0 deficit earlier on, trying to come back on court 4 and get the Blue Raiders a point. Guys, back to you.
Thanks for that comparison there, Dylan. I'm not sure she was quite in that big of a hole, but point taken. Comeback is underway there on court number 4 off to your left.
And that one is out, meaning I think that means that Garikani just took this game. Or maybe not. Maybe, oh, she just got to 40. Okay, so we got one more point. Oh, no, it's deuce.
Yeah, it looks like Garikani was questioning whether that one was in or out, and they decide to give it to Michelle Cube.
Well, it looks like that is what happened. Stream glitch right there in that last point, so I'm not sure how that ended up, but I'm looking like
by the look on Sana Garikani's face, it looks like it has gone in favor of Michelle Cube here on court 5, as Garikani will attempt to collect her nerves here. A lot less velocity on that second serve. You're obviously just trying to make sure that you get that ball in play, and it's definitely I mean, it's affecting how she plays here this afternoon. I don't think she really feels that she can rely on that first one because she hasn't hit it in a few points now, and
it does really affect your game when you can't use that powerful first serve, because when you give them that second one, it's really easy to get a powerful return that you may not be able to get back.
Absolutely, Michelle Cube has taken advantage of that, but beautiful bending shot
that
there
was
from
a really good-
Garicani. Will tie this game at 15 all.
Once again, that first serve goes into the net for Garicani.
Both of your top Blue Raiders struggling at the moment, as over on court 1, Love Star Alexis has just gone down 3-0 in her second set. So both your court 1 and court 2 in dire straits here in their second games. Again, may have to look to some of those lower courts this afternoon to secure this victory if you're the Blue Raiders. Would certainly hate to not be able to put away a match that you started up
With
effectively
2
2-0.
points, yeah.
But Garicani battling back here. She will bring it to 30-30 with that last shot.
Oof. Wonderful
Just
shot there.
barely snuck in there by Michelle Cube, and Garicani can't believe it.
And this will be the deciding point of this set.
Good ball from Garicani.
There we go, bringing it to a deuce. And looks like that serve was out. That means the second set goes to GSU there. Not what we want to see for the Blue Raiders to go down another set, but now we'll have to go to a third.
Absolutely, Garicani spiking her second ball back into the tarp there in frustration at the end, as we've now seen our top 3 courts trailing for the Blue Raiders, and quite a turn of events here this afternoon as MTSU began the match off 2-0 lead. As we take you to court number 5 here. Noelle Morrow, one of the few Blue Raiders that
Keeping our lead up there.
is having success here through 2 sets. Her opponent, Alexia Alvarez, has been up against it herself.
And that is 2 serves that are out for Alvarez. You can hear her frustration there.
I mean, tell me if I'm wrong, Sarah. That might have just been the form for her second serve, but looking very lackadaisical here. Doesn't look like she feels like there's much of a shot left in this one.
You can see the defeat in her play. It looks like she's already a little bit given up, which is not something you want to do because, I mean, looking at our higher courts, you can see there's always room for a comeback.
Yeah, you know, emotional sport, lots of mind games throughout the whole day. And
definitely.
Never too late.
And this is the break point here on this game.
Wonder if this form that we're seeing from Alexia Alvarez is potentially due to any lingering fatigue that she might have from yesterday's match with Lipscomb. But
looks like she has something wrapped on her arm. I'm not sure if that's just a sleeve or it's from an injury, but it might just be a sleeve.
way long there from Alvarez on the return. Alvarez won in straight sets last night, 6-4 twice, but as you can see her leaning on her racket in between every point. It looks like her legs just might be gone this afternoon. And that can definitely happen when you are playing these matches back-to-back, playing a lot of tennis up here at the beginning of the season. You might not have that conditioning that you get later in the spring. And Noelle Morrow seems to be benefiting because of it.
And that's in a beautiful rally between those two girls. And that shot, I think, was just barely on that line. But as you can see with that hand signal, Alvarez called that shot in, making it now 40-love.
Just kissed that baseline. And a beautiful shot from Noelle Morrow, no doubt. She looks to close it out here, and she will.
Right there.
Noelle Morrow taking 2 straight sets, winning 6-3 and 6-1, just as dominant as ever.
And I think, is this our first win in singles? Or?
That is the first of your Blue Raiders singles matches to finish. Noelle Morrow gives the Blue Raiders a 3-0 score on the match, meaning that only one of the remaining Blue Raiders left on the court today must finish a victor to give MTSU the win. As you can see some of our game day stats there. In the bottom left corner, Noelle Morrow just taking care of all of those opportunities, able to break Alexia Alvarez early and often and take advantage of that fatigue that was evident there at the end.
Yeah.
All right, and as we wrap up the action there on court number 5, we're going to send you down to court number 4, where Lily Sophie Schmidt is the only Blue Raider with a lead in her second set at the moment.
And we're tuning in right as we are at a deuce point. See who will take this last point, and I think it was out, so that goes to Lily Sophie Schmidt there, making the second set at 5-2. It's only one more game needed for her to win this match here.
Yeah, we our play site technology losing side of that last ball is Kumar. Again, looked like it had to clip the frame of that racket. I mean, some of these balls you just can't help but imagine are nowhere close to where they want to hit them. In the meantime, we will take a break here on court number 4 and send it down to our reporter Dylan Simmons. Dylan, what have you got for me?
Well, in court 2, it's been a reversal of fortune. Sana, of course, had a 6-3 victory in her first set, but a 2-6 defeat in the second set. Going to be interesting to see how that third set plays out, if that's what it requires. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Dylan. Yeah, we tuned into that match just not too long ago, and Sana Garikani, unfortunately, battling herself here again this afternoon. 6-2, quite a dominant victory there for Michelle Cube.
It is indeed.
As we get started back here on court number 4, Lily Sophie Schmidt in the pink at the bottom of your screen has a 5-2 advantage over Pragnya Kumar.
Well, their odds are definitely in MTSU's favor here. I think Lily Sophie Schmidt, if she continues to play like she has been, is going to easily take this second set. with this last game here.
No doubt, and I'm sure her teammates wouldn't mind her putting this away a little early, seeing as they are not having the same success on their own courts.
And that serve goes a little long there.
Blue Raiders and Panthers. Wow, Lily Sophie having to readjust her body there at the last second and couldn't quite get that one to fall.
Looked like she might have almost fallen over. She didn't end up getting that point, but I will say her anticipation of where those balls are going to go is pretty impressive on how quickly she can move court side to court side. Oh, and that one bounces right, boomeranged back at her as it hit the net.
Unfortunate there for Schmidt.
She might have scared her opponent a little bit there with that rush to the net and threw that return on Kumar's side out of bounds there. It's always a really impressive tactic when a singles player can get to the net in a rally, so it's definitely intimidating on the other side.
No doubt Kumar heard the footsteps of Lily Sophie Schmidt.
Quickly had to change probably the shot that she was planning on hitting if Schmidt had been at the baseline.
Schmidt sneaks one over the net there.
Oof. And it's out.
Wide by Kumar. Nope. She chirps, and Schmidt has brought this game to a 30-30 score. Meanwhile, out of the corner of my eye, over here on court one, Love Star Alexis has battled back from a 3-0 deficit to trail only 3-2 to Ava Chivu on the top court. Meanwhile, on court number 3, Muskan Gupta trails 4-1 against Maria Paredes.
A great rally, but unfortunate that that volley hit into the net instead of where she wanted it to go.
Tough one to lose there for Schmidt.
Yeah.
You're right up on the net, and you feel like nothing can go against you. Just spiked it into the ground there.
Definitely disappointing that it wasn't even a shot that she couldn't get to, because that's usually what happens when you go to the net is they'll hit it behind you, but just a fault in her play there.
Hard shot from deep there from Schmidt.
Another one
Can't
into
get
the
that
net.
one to go.
And that is the game now in bringing Kumar to a 3-5. Schmidt still needing only one more game to win this second set.
No doubt something she can take care of, as Coach Teo will console Lily Sophie as we take back to action here on court number 4. Coast to coast for Lily Sophie Schmidt and Pragnya Kumar.
Some impressive shots from Kumar on that side with the double cross court.
A few here in these last few points for Kumar, as she is deep in the hole here this afternoon as well.
And that one goes out.
Schmidt lets out a spirited yelp as Kumar's shot falls wide.
Sometimes all you need is just that 1 point to get you back into the right headspace.
Absolutely how things can change so quickly in this sport.
And back to the frustration as she hits that shot right into the doubles alley.
Schmidt attempts to calm herself there. I think consistency is really just the word that comes to mind when I think of this Blue Raider team early in the season. They've shown a lot of flashes, yet not been able to consistently perform, whether it be during the game, during the length of a set. It's a lot of back and forth here that prolongs these matches and, you know, forces, I mean, you end up playing more head games with yourself, so it's definitely something that you'd like to see improve as Lily Sophie, as we were just talking about, has had a rough go of it after losing that last game. She now trails 40-15.
Definitely frustrating knowing that she's so close to this win, but just can't seem to get this last game. This is now 2 games in a row where she might be losing, but still possible to come back. 15-40. Oh, and she hits that volley long.
Just a little too much there from Lily Sophie Schmidt.
Probably would have been in her best interest to just tap that one over the net.
I think that was the idea she had, but couldn't execute it nonetheless.
Yeah.
As we see Coach Teo walking with Lily Sophie Schmidt over to the bench as we get to a break in the action there on court 4. Lily Sophie Schmidt is the only Blue Raider that we are watching right now that has a lead in that second set there, as the tables have turned here.
Bring it to 4-5. It's a lot closer than she probably had anticipated the second set going. So, but still possible to come back in this next game and win this set without having to go to any extra games or tiebreakers. So.
No doubt that'll be crucial, especially as your Blue Raiders take on Bellarmine tomorrow afternoon in their first match, as we will send it back down to court number 4, where we are still waiting.
Looks like they're making their way back
on
to
the
the
action
courts
to
here.
resume.
Hopefully with a little bit of rest and a pep talk, these girls are able to regroup.
As the score sits 5-4 here between Lily Sophie Schmidt and Pragnya Kumar. Kumar will set up to serve, coming off a break of Lily Sophie Schmidt.
And the shot goes into the net by Lily Sophie Schmidt. A lot of shots going into the net for Lily Sophie Schmidt today.
Certainly here of late, she made quick work of Kumar and stormed out to another 5-2 lead here in the second set. She has not been able to get a grip since then, so to speak. And Kumar is on the verge of tying this set at 5 games apiece if Schmidt is not careful.
Yep. Now we're at love 30.
Off to your right, it looks like Sana Garikani and Michelle Cube are taking a break. But Garikani just took her third game of the third set, giving her a 3-0 advantage. Trotting over to Lily Sophie Schmidt to give her some skin as another ball from
Another
Schmidt
one
falls
goes
short.
into the net. Ugh, it's just.
You truly hate to see it.
Yeah, you feel the disappointment yourself just watching those balls go into the net.
So I'm sure she can feel her lead slipping away as such.
It's so close, but she just can't get this last game. Oh, there's an excellent rally between the girls. Both sides had great plays right there.
No
with
doubt.
Those volleys.
Little backhanded stab there from Lily Sophie
Sliced
Schmidt.
it right over her shoulder into a no man's land.
No hope of getting back to that one.
Yeah. Still with only 15-40. It might be hard for Schmidt to come back on this last game, but we will see if this win from that last point can push her to continue to win this game. And it's out. So there it is, another game. That's 3 in a row now that Kumar has won against Schmidt. Oh, actually, no, I take it back. That was just break point. Never mind. We still have one more point. Or, okay, I don't know. No, I was right. The game's over. Our system was just lacking. Now Schmidt is serving.
It does take a minute for that scoreboard to update, but Pragnya Kumar battling back, making it 5-5 here in this second set in this match on court 4.
Yep, meaning now it will have to go to 7 games if someone wins without having to go to a tiebreaker.
You're good. You hear from family,
there's
teammate, friends.
Plenty of encouragement watching. She's definitely got a crowd watching this game play out. I think. I don't know if it's working to her advantage or her disadvantage.
A little too much sauce there from Lily Sophie Schmidt. Not exactly what she was looking to accomplish with that shot.
Definitely not. Excellent serve there from Schmidt with a return that goes long. And that brings Schmidt 40-15. Maybe it was just the pressure that she was feeling with that game so close to winning, because now that she can't win with this last game, she's able to easily come back and take this game. But sadly, this means there's still more playing to be done.
All right, Lily Sophie Schmidt attempting to complete her second set, which would give the Blue Raiders the victory, but the job is not quite done yet.
Really close, very close multiple times, but she just let those last 3 games kind of just slip away from her. I think frustration and just wanting it to be over so badly that I think she was maybe too aggressive on some of those shots, leaving a lot of them into the net. Her form wasn't completely on.
No doubt.
A lot of them going out. So.
Well, I'm sure that tomorrow's match is also weighing on the minds of these Blue Raiders. As we've mentioned, fatigue being a factor for Georgia State. The Blue Raiders play Bellarmine tomorrow, so I'm certainly talked to Lily Sophie before the match, and she mentioned wanting to get out of here a little bit earlier than she did last time. So we'll see how that plays out here.
I think we've got
this afternoon
something going on from our reporter, Dylan Simmons. What have you got for us, Dylan?
Yeah, over on court number 1, Love Star Alexis trying to stave off defeat. Nobody likes losing. It's like watching the Burger King Your Way commercial. Love Star Alexis is trying to do that. She's currently facing a 5-3 deficit, though. And it'll be interesting to see how this second set plays out if Lily Sophie Schmidt doesn't get the victory beforehand. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Dylan. I love your little comparisons always keep us going.
Absolutely. The puns from Mr. Simmons always keep us chuckling up here in the booth as we check back in with the action on
which court's going to be. I don't know. Looks like we're back on court 4 here.
It's your match between Lily Sophie Schmidt and Pragnya Kumar. Lily Sophie Schmidt with a 6-5 advantage here in this second set. If she can put away this game here, she will be the winner and give the Blue Raiders the overall match victory.
Once again, she might be leading them to victory if she can just stay on her game there. Beautiful shot there with that slam in the net, right by the net there by Schmidt, tying the two at 15 all.
Yeah, very well. Sometimes it can be hard to control shots that you put that much force into, and very well done there from
that was definitely well
Schmidt.
executed with the immediately bouncing high above everyone's head and going out of bounds. Shot was a little bit long.
We'll see Kumar's second attempt here.
Wow, well, I thought that shot by Schmidt was going to be out, but it looks like it just barely hit the line, and she was able to hit that last shot down the line to where Kumar could just not get that point in time.
Well, unfortunately, we do not have VAR here at Adams Tennis Complex, but that ball was right in front of that ITA official, so I'm willing to trust his judgment, and I'm sure Schmidt is as well.
Kumar didn't even seem to eject or think that it was out, so it's definitely fair play, but Schmidt is already looking better in this last game than she has in the previous ones.
Definitely found some of her rhythm from earlier.
Yeah, gotten back into her groove. Let's just hope she can keep it there.
So they talk about in baseball, she is painting the corners at the moment with all of these shots that are just barely touching the line, and she will win another point there.
There we go, and this is the last set point at 40-15. Match and set. Let's see if she can take the Blue Raiders to victory here in this last point.
This would be huge. I'm sure the Blue Raiders would love to get out of here a little bit early with that match coming up tomorrow.
Oh, and it goes into the net. That shot is out for Schmidt. Looks like they're going to have to finish this one out in a deuce. The pressure is definitely on for Schmidt. She's got to win this last point.
Quite the volley here between Schmidt and Kumar for the game.
My heart was racing for them, honestly.
What a rally we have
there
here.
We go. She finishes off the match with a cross-court volley there. Beautiful play by both women on this court.
Man, that slicing backhand from Lily Sophie Schmidt, as she is embraced by her teammates, will make her the hero here once again.
My heart is racing. I know hers is probably racing a little bit more, but that feeling of bringing your team to victory is nothing quite matches that.
No
Everyone
doubt.
can breathe a sigh of relief now.
As we say, that will bring our match to a close here as your Middle Tennessee State Blue Raiders win by a final score of 4-0. Although they were given 2 of those points pretty early due to the fact that Georgia State is shorthanded here today.
Yeah, definitely left them at a disadvantage.
Yeah, junior Ellie Aldrich, who usually plays on the number 2 court for them, unfortunately not able to go due to a lower leg injury. But as you saw there, we were tuned in for the longest time to Lily Sophie Schmidt, who was able to put away the victory for the Blue Raiders last week against Austin Peay. Sarah, what did you see in her match today against Pragna Kumar?
I mean, the first set, we thought it was going to be a really quick match overall with that first set. She played very, very well in the first set, bringing it was 6-2?
6-1 even.
6-1. We were expecting the same thing for the second set. It wasn't quite the same. We got a big comeback from GSU on the other side, which I think she was doing well, and then she kind of felt the end was near, and I think she just got into her head too much. She started getting a little sloppy within those last. I think she lost about 4 games in a row, but she was able to pull through at the end, and you could kind of see that first set play come back in that last game where she was really able to hone her skills and.
Absolutely, yeah. Lily Sophie, not the only Blue Raider to face some battles with themselves today. Sana Garikani ended up battling back. It appears that score was 4-1 when that was ruled undecided. But she also had some of those emotional battles with herself. Yeah. And we'll certainly see how that develops down the stretch of this season. Meanwhile, we're going to take it to a break, and when we return, we will have the post-game interview with our coaches and your star of the match. So tune back in here to MTN Sports and Conference USA TV.
Mental health affects us all, whether you finish first or last.
Whether you win or lose.
The stigma around these issues causes those around us to suffer in silence.
Mental health is nothing to be ashamed of.
You are not alone.
You are not alone. As a student athlete,
As a teammate,
As a friend,
we pledge to continue the conversation.
because it matters.
Because you matter.
stand up to the stigma.
Stand up.
Stand up.
Continue the conversation.
You are not alone.
I have a voice.
You have a voice.
We have a voice.
Our voices can be heard
Outside of sports.
As student athletes, we have a platform.
Now more than ever.
It's important that we listen, learn, and lead, and raise our voices for change.
We can all do more.
Now is the time
To make a difference.
This is our chance.
This is our chance to make a better tomorrow.
Together, we will continue the conversation.
We have a voice.
On June 23, 1972, Title IX was signed into law, and it reads, No person in the United States shall, on the basis of sex, be excluded from participation in, be denied the benefits of, or be subjected to discrimination under any education program or activity, receiving federal financial assistance. Happy 50th anniversary, Title IX. Thank you for giving little girls like me and big kids like Conference USA student athletes the opportunity to dream big.
Mental health affects us all, whether you finish first or last.
Whether you win or lose.
The stigma around these issues causes those around us to suffer in silence.
Mental health is nothing to be ashamed of.
You are not alone.
You are not alone. As a student athlete,
As a teammate,
As a friend,
We pledge to continue the conversation.
because it matters.
Because you matter.
stand up to the stigma.
Stand up.
Stand up.
Continue the conversation.
You are not alone.
back to Middle Tennessee women's tennis here on MTN Sports. I'm your host, Grant Langston, alongside our analyst for the afternoon, Sarah Ottman. And we are joined by player of the match, Noelle Morrow. Noelle, thanks for taking some time to speak to us today. Tell us a little bit about your duel with Alexia Alexandra this afternoon.
I think it was a good match. I think the score isn't really indicative of what happened. I think a lot of our games were really long. We had a lot of deuce games, and it was competitive, but was able to stay strong in those moments and pull out a win.
Absolutely. After about a week off, this match starts a run of 5 or 6 more matches here at home at ATC. How does it feel to get another victory here early in the season?
It's great. I love playing at ATC. It's one of my favorite places. I'm really going to miss when we go on the road to not be playing here. We had great fans again, so the atmosphere was really nice.
Could you tell any kind of breakdown in your opponent there later in the match? She was seemed to be, leaning on her racket almost. Georgia State played Lipscomb up in Nashville last night. So was there anything that you saw in your opponent there that you kind of were able to take advantage of?
Yeah, she had an injury or a medical timeout, so it looked like they were working on her shins. So I kind of was just like maybe some movement. Just kept her running across the court and trying to get an opening.
No doubt. Well, it certainly worked for you. And lastly, is there anything today that from your performance that you'd like to work on or improve upon going into the rest of this season?
Definitely. I think I'm going to still continue to work on the +1 after the serve and stepping in, trying to take advantage and take some time away.
All right, Noelle. Well, great performance today. Congrats on the victory, and thank you for taking some time to speak to us here this afternoon.
Thank you.
All right, folks, that was Noelle Morrow, your player of the game. That's her second week in a row securing victory before anybody else has even done. Noelle Morrow has been on an absolute roll here for the Lady Raiders
as well. Yeah, it was a really impressive match to watch. Yeah.
Yes, her opponent, Alexia Alvarez, as you heard right there, had a medical timeout. We must have been away for that, but clearly affected her in the lower half on, later in those games as we saw her kind of keeled over trying to catch her breath and establish any bit of momentum that she could.
Yeah, it's hard, but you got to take advantage of where your competitors are falling short, even if it is an injury. She was saying she had to run her across the court, and even though she's maybe recovering from that, that's how college play works. So.
It's absolutely what you've got to do. All right, and now we will be joined by Middle Tennessee women's tennis head coach Teo Bailey Duval. Coach, thank you for joining us. Tell us a little bit about what you liked and what you didn't like from your team today.
Well, what I did like is we knew Georgia State was going to be solid and there were going to be some competitive matches. But the ability of my players to take their time and try to work their way through the matches and continue to find ways to be successful and not continue on a path that wasn't working. And I think that's really key as we move deeper into the season and play a little bit more challenging teams, but to take a step back and take our time and really be strategic with how we win our matches.
No doubt, and I think that's definitely evident on your court number 2. Like we mentioned last week, Sana struggled a lot as she kind of faced some adversity in that match. And today, although obviously her match wasn't able to be finished, she showed some fight there in that third set. She was able to compose herself and, get right back into the swing of things. With the match coming up against Bellarmine tomorrow, what do you expect to see from your ladies there?
I think Bellarmine is kind of top heavy. With them only being a couple years in a Division I. But what I tell my girls really is we don't take anyone for granted. You go out there, you fight, you win the way you want to win. If that works that day, we'll win how you got to win that day. I think it's going to be the top 3 matches will probably be a little bit more competitive than the bottom 3, and that's a little bit expected. And then we'll just kind of see how doubles is. We saw them in the fall when they came to our invite. We have a little idea of how they play, but we haven't seen them in a couple of months.
And then lastly, Lily Sophie Schmidt got the point again for the Blue Raiders, and her first set was really easily won, and then she kind of fell short in the second one. We saw her frustration a little bit. I saw you kind of pull her to the side sometimes when players are getting frustrated like that. What do you say to those players to get them right back into the right headspace to continue the rest of their match?
Well, even though she started to struggle a bit, she was still very competitive, and the games were really close still. So I just go to her and I say, hey, you're doing fine, and you are. You're right there in every game. You just got to gotta maybe execute a few shots a little bit better and keep your composure. She does get a little bit excited when she gets a decent lead, and then tries to play a little bit too aggressive too soon instead of being patient and continuing to play the way she was playing to get that lead. And that's common. A lot of players do that. They play one way to get to a certain level or a certain point, and then they try to change it, and then it starts to backfire. So we always say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. we keep doing what works for that day, and then the next day we may be able to do something different.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, and congratulations on today's win.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
All right, you just heard from women's tennis head coach Teo Bailey Duval there. And just to recap a little bit of the action for you today, your Blue Raiders come away with a victory 4-0 as they started out the afternoon up 2-0 due to some injury issues for the Georgia State Panthers. Lily Sophie Schmidt taking victory on court 4, as well as Noelle Morrow taking victory on court 5, continuing their hot streaks to give the Blue Raiders the victory today. As we just mentioned, the Blue Raiders will take on Bellarmine tomorrow at 1 p.m. right back here at Adams Tennis Complex, and you can find all that action right here at MTN Sports on YouTube and live on CUSA TV. Unfortunately, that is all the time that we have here this afternoon. But we will, like I said, we will be back here tomorrow.
Thank you for tuning in. We want to say thank you to MT Athletics for allowing us to stream these matches. We also want to thank Adams Tennis Complex for helping make all of this possible, because it is a lot to do. If you missed this or any of our previous matches, you can find a link to the CUSA matches by visiting our website, middletennesseenews.net/sports.
All right, and we'll be right back here tomorrow as your Blue Raiders take on Bellarmine. For MTN Sports, I'm Grant Langston.
And I'm Sarah Ottman. I'm Sarah Ottman.
Thank you for watching MTN Sports. Your home for MTSU Blue Raiders tennis. So long.